Psalm 130 is just an amazing psalm because it's only 8 verses long, and it moves on a sort of, as I said, a 4-stage journey. It's somebody lamenting something bad that's happening at the same time as moving to a place of being able to witness to how faithful God has been. But the reason it's a fascinating example for someone who's particularly a parent of a child who's in difficulty, or to be honest, anyone in a situation of suffering of some sort, is that it begins with this sort of guttural lament, this wailing, oh God, out of the depths I cry to you, oh God, what's going on? And it starts there, and in some ways that's something that particularly in the kind of church culture that I'm in, and actually quite an optimistic personality, generally finding the idea of just venting and lamenting to God instead of just going online and saying, had this terrible day or this awful thing, but actually going to the Father and saying, come on, God, what's going on? That was a really important thing for us to learn. There's a sort of wailing, weeping element. And then the psalm moves into a place of worship and begins to say, but, with you there's forgiveness, and therefore we love you and we fear you and so on. So it moves from weeping through into a place of worship, yet at the same time, the sadness of the thing in the start of the psalm hasn't disappeared. And then from a place of worship, it then moves into, thirdly, a place of waiting, where the writer says, I wait for you more than watchmen wait for the morning. Which I love as an image, because it's those people who, watchmen, don't worry whether the morning's going to come or not. They just don't know without watches. Is it coming now, or is it coming in a couple of hours' time? And so there's that, we know this is coming. We know redemption is on its way, but we don't know when. And we just have to wait. We have to allow the awkwardness and the pain of the silence to carry on until we're ready to be fixed and healed and made better. And then finally, after a period of waiting, finally the psalmist says, and now I'm in a position to tell people how great you are. I can tell of your goodness. And it's a period of witnessing. So we then use that structure in the book as a way of saying, this is a journey that we all go on, or should all follow in a sense. We have to weep first. We can't jump straight to, it's all right, God will be good. And say, well, he will, but that's probably not where you start. You've got to process the grief. But as you're doing that, you begin to worship and say, even though this is happening, God, we do trust you. And we thank you for your forgiveness of our sins, even if we're worried, don't know why this is still happening. And then we wait. And actually, after a while, it may be that we're in a position to do what I'm doing even now, which is to witness and say, God has been good, God has been faithful. And I think that as a psalm, it's a beautiful picture of how we go through the journey of processing things which have been sad for us, to the point where we're able to testify to the goodness of God in the end.